Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. You are listening to the Mari Mukunda Show on Salam Media. It is 12:36. September the 8th marks International Literacy Day. So to celebrate this day, we are doing a giveaway. To stand a chance to win, tell us what UNESCO stands for. That's UNESCO. Send your answer to our WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355 with your full name and area, and the winner will be announced today at 3 p.m. on Inspired Afternoons. Follow Salam Media's social media platforms for more details. Moving right along, I'm going to be chatting to Michael Dash about banting. You're probably wondering banting. What is banting all about? You've probably read about it, come across it. Banting is the new craze. It's something that a lot of people are talking about these days, and some people also doing. It's nothing new basically. But if we go way back over a century ago, we can find the originator, William Banting started a low carbohydrate diet at his doctor's behest after struggling with obesity. The diet Banting advocated would be familiar to anyone following a low carb diet today, emphasizing meat, vegetables, and fruit and avoiding sugar and starch. But I don't know all the details, which is why we have a professional from Banting Buddies, weight loss and Banting coach, Michael Dash. Good afternoon, Michael.
Miriam, afternoon. Thank you for that introduction.
Thank you for joining me. All right, so let's tell us what Banting is all about. I mean, we know that it started by William Banting, and rather, is it a diet or is it a lifestyle?
Miriam, that's a very important question. Diet, by the very word diet, means you change the way you eat, and it's not sustainable. Banting is a lifestyle change where we actually understand what happens with the food that we eat, the food that we put into our bodies, and we see the difference. A lot of people, a lot of my clients come to me, Michael, I'm going to a wedding in 6 weeks' time. I want to lose 10 kilos. Well, it's quite simple. Did you put the 10 kilos on in 6 weeks? No, you didn't. So you're not going to lose 10 kilos in 6 weeks. So just to answer your question, it is a lifestyle change. And once you embrace the change, and the weight loss is a side effect of the lifestyle change. It's not just about losing weight. It's living healthier, feeling healthier, and just generally getting rid of what we call brain fog, etc. So certainly a lifestyle change, not a diet.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, how does it work? When I was reading up on Banting, when I tried to do Banting, there was the red list to avoid, there was a green list, and there was an orange list. There was just so much going on that I just said, you know what, I'm just going to try this for a month and see how it goes. And then I couldn't go on. So, tell us, how does it work and how can we maintain it?
Okay, Miriam, there's a lot of Banting websites, Banting social media pages, and unfortunately, there are too many people who call themselves knowledgeable on Banting, but actually don't know what's going on. And I mean that with all due respect. There are a couple of organizations like Banting Buddies and others where we actually undergo the training to identify, amongst other things, the hidden carbohydrates that big business puts into our daily food. So to embrace Banting, first things first, and I'll share my story. Yes. I engaged with the Tim Noakes book, Real Meal Revolution, written by 4 authors, Tim Noakes being the most notable author. And when you look at the book, everybody looks at the recipes. And yes, the recipes in that book are fantastic. I still have a copy, and I often go back and look at the recipes to cook the food. But one needs to understand the science behind Banting and why we need to follow a low carbohydrate diet. And it really has to do with the insulin in your body. And we keep through a low-carb lifestyle where ideally we need to eat less than 25 grams of carbohydrates a day. I also want to add that it's low carbohydrates, medium protein, and healthy, high saturated fat. I hope that makes sense.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Because
So
oh,
carry
sorry,
on.
please continue.
So what we need to then do is start counting the carbohydrates. Let me ask you quite simply, do you enjoy cappuccino?
Yes.
Okay, so a cappuccino can have upwards of 12 grams of carbohydrates in it, which if you're trying to eat less than 25 grams of carbohydrates a day, your cappuccino is half your carbohydrate intake for the day. And why do I say that? Cappuccino is normally made with milk. Milk has up to 220 milliliters. Coffee or cappuccino can have 220 milliliters of milk. 220 milliliters of milk can have upwards of 12 grams of carbohydrates. Why do I say that? Milk contains lactose. What is lactose? It's milk sugar. So you have a cappuccino, 12 grams of carbohydrates, for example, and I'm rounding it up. And then you put a spoon or two of sugar in it, and suddenly you're up to 20 grams of carbohydrates. One cappuccino. The alternative is an Americano with pouring cream, for example. Pouring cream, probably 2 or 3 grams of carbohydrates. And there's just a simple example of hidden carbohydrates that you don't even know that you're taking in.
Wow, the numbers
That's my
are quite
favorite one.
shocking. Yeah. So now
Exactly.
I'm looking at cappuccino a little differently now. So for people who would like to take on the Banting lifestyle, what's the easiest way to start?
Okay. Obviously, from my perspective, talk to a Banting coach. But, Banting coaches are at the moment coaching online because of COVID and trying not to have too much of an interaction with the clients. Through the Banting Buddies organization, we do one-on-one coaching online and or face-to-face. But really, it's a journey. So if you want to engage in a lifestyle, there's a lot of literature out in the market, as I said to you earlier, on social media platforms, etc. I'll say one thing. Stick to the basics. And if you go back to the book that Tim wrote, it was called Real Meal Revolution. Stick to eating real food. And the rule of thumb for me is if you walk into a supermarket, doesn't matter which one it is, the first 2 or 3 aisles are where you should be doing most of your purchase of food. Why? Because it's real food. You pick up a cauliflower. You don't need to have a label on there saying this is cauliflower. You pick up a piece of meat. Yes, you'll know it's meat, but what meat is it? The point I'm making is eat the real food. Avoid the bakery, because that's always on the left-hand side. And then also go to the dairy. And unfortunately, big business has got to the point where we get low fat, 2% skim milk, etc. What happens there is we take all the cream out of it, and sometimes we even have to sweeten it because it tastes awful. If you leave the cream in the milk, it tastes so much better. So one thing that I've embraced is eating double cream yogurt. Plain double cream yogurt. If you told me 4 years ago when I embarked on this lifestyle that you would enjoy double cream yogurt, I'd laugh at you. Today, I thoroughly enjoy double cream yogurt. So it's really just getting back to the basics of eating proper real food. We always say avoid the crap. And crap is an acronym, so apologies to your listeners. It's carbohydrates, refined foods, added sugar, that sort of thing. So try and avoid eating the rubbish that's out there today.
So is it necessary to buy all of these Banting ingredients? We have Banting flour, Banting rice, Banting this, Banting that.
Miriam, good question. And quite honestly, no, it's not necessary. You can make a lot of the Banting food yourself with very little additional costs. Banting flour is frightfully expensive because it's either almond flour or macadamia nut flour, and it becomes expensive. So you don't need to eat the expensive flours. In fact, the one thing I learned very quickly in my Banting journey is that cut out bread completely. Then they come with this idea, yeah, but you can make a Banting bread. You know what? It's not the same. So just cut the bread out. In terms of sugar, a lot of people say to me, but Michael, I have a sweet tooth. Cut the sugar, go for erythritol, xylitol, or stevia. And ultimately, depending on your personal taste, but I eventually just drop the sugar altogether and I don't miss it at all. I mean, cup of coffee in the mornings with some whipped cream, which I whip myself so that I know it's real cream. Nothing better, quite honestly.
And
also, carry on.
How long did it take you to reach where you are today, and how long would it take just a regular person who is trying this Banting lifestyle?
Okay, so Miriam, I lost more than 30 kilograms over about a 2-year period.
Wow.
And a lot of people have said to me, but, you know, what about your clothes? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but one of the negative side effects of Banting is a new wardrobe. I don't know about you, but I'm happy that it's a new wardrobe.
I'd be happy too.
So as long as you sustain the lifestyle, and we go through what we call plateau, where you then have to revisit your weight loss and just look at the food that you're eating. And that's where a coach comes into the equation, because the coach would monitor your weight loss, but more importantly, then start tweaking what you're eating. For example, women, when a couple comes in to see me, the first 2 weeks, the wife walks in, you can see she's not happy, and the husband's got a grin on his face. By week 3, it changes. The wife starts losing a lot quicker. Remember, you've been eating junk for years and years and years. Now your body's got to have that change. And we even go through what we call the low-carb flu. As your body starts detoxing and becomes less reliant on carbohydrates for energy, obviously there's going to be some reactions, and it'll feel like you've got the flu. But once you persevere through it and your body starts to then burn its own fat, because ultimately that's what we talk about. If you're eating carbohydrates, you're burning carbohydrates. The problem is you store the excess carbohydrates. If you eat less carbohydrates or very low carbohydrates, you start burning your own body fat. And here's something that most people don't know. I often ask my clients, where does that body fat go? Do you know where it goes, Miriam?
No.
You exhale it via ketones. So we also use a ketonics machine, and obviously, so it's like a breathalyzer, and some of it also comes out in your urine. But the majority of your weight loss is through ketones, which you exhale. Now, that can be a problem with being stopped at a police roadblock, and you're asked to blow. You know you haven't had any alcohol, but it could register, the ketones could register that you've consumed alcohol. So I often warn my clients, if you are stopped at a police roadblock and asked to blow, please just let them know that you are Banting. It could give a negative reading on the breathalyzer.
Wow. So, Michael, is Banting Buddies on social media? How can people find you should they wish to know more?
Okay, so bantingbuddies.com is the website. And we have Banting coaches all over South Africa. And we also have a few Banting coaches outside of South Africa. The beauty of the Banting lifestyle now and social media, as well as during lockdown, we can coach via Zoom, via Teams, whatever the case may be. I recently did a client in the UK, and it was very successful. He lost 17 kilos in the 6 weeks that he engaged with me.
Wow.
And why do I say that? Because one, you're having a one-on-one conversation. Obviously, there's got to be a level of trust. And two, you can email me your food diary for the week. Obviously, I need to analyze the food diary and make some corrections. So face-to-face, as you know it, Miriam, we're not seeing people face-to-face anymore. So Banting buddies and individual coaches are prepared to coach virtually.
All right. Okay, Michael, thank you so much for your time. And I hope our listeners got a little bit more insight on Banting. And, if if we couldn't get any other solutions, perhaps Banting could be the one.
Very much so. Just a passing thought in winding up. So I lost 30 kilos. Go to the supermarket and take 60 blocks of butter, because the butter is 500 grams. Put that in 2 packets and carry it. See how you feel.
No, I'm not going to try that because already you had me at cappuccino. So I'm going to leave the butter out. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Miriam, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. That was Michael Dash, the Banting coach at Banting Buddies. If you'd like to know more, visit the website. It's bantingbuddies.com, BANTING Buddies, BUDDIES.com. If you'd like a Banting coach near you to give you a hand into getting your summer body, like Michael said, he lost 30 kilos in 2 years. 2 years, and he lost a whole 30 kilos. And a client of his whom he was helping lost 17 kilos in 6 weeks. Guys, really? 17 kilos, 6 weeks? You've got more than enough time to get your summer body ready now. What are you waiting for? Stay with us. We will be right back.
Salam Media, and you are tuned into the Miriam Makunda Show.
Penny Appeal are doing something special. They're giving you the chance to make sure that 100% of your zakat is going to help people who are in desperate need. So this year, give 100% of your zakat to poor and needy people with Penny Appeal and reap the rewards of fulfilling this beautiful pillar of Islam. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Wow, Zahra, your designer outfit looks so stunning on you.
Thank you, Sophia. All that's missing now is the perfect scarf to match my outfit. Where in this dunya am I going to find a scarf to match?
At Al Shazia, of course. They keep the most beautiful range of scarves for all occasions and in fact almost anything for the modest Muslim and Muslimah. Stunning ladies and girls abayas, burqas, kaftans, niqabs, and contemporary men and boys kurtas.
I can't wait to shop there. But how will I find the time?
No worries. Al Shazia is excited to announce the launch of their brand new online store. Shop now at www.alshazia.co.za. Al Shazia, since 1999, 215 Sparks Road, Overport, Durban. Al Shazia, the scarf specialist.
Spread the sunshine and make mealtimes sunshine delicious. Sunshine D, the versatile margarine and fat spread that is perfect for spreading, baking, and cooking. Need inspiration?